So we're gonna do a blow dry, a nice smooth blow dry on the one length haircut that we did. We're gonna remove the excess moisture. I added a little bit of product to help give it some hold. High to remove the excess moisture. Then I'm gonna turn it on low, and I'm gonna be using my flat wrap technique. So wrapping it around one way, I'm gonna wrap it around the other way, using the head as a template to smooth it out. Once you've got the excess moisture removed, and we're gonna go in and start styling. I'm gonna put my blow dryer on low. I'm gonna comb all the hair back, or brush all the hair back. Then I'm gonna start working at the bottom. So I'm gonna push from the center back, start at the bottom, over the ears. So we're just gonna hold it like this. We're gonna take our clip and we're gonna hold it out of the way. We're gonna do that on both sides, and then we're gonna work piece by piece. So you could tuck it over the ear and then start blow drying. So you're gonna work on the underneath and build on each section as it dries. So again, in, smoothing that hair out, pulling it down straight, using that nozzle to dry the cuticle nice and smooth, and trying to get minimal volume. So you're not pulling it out from the head, you're just pulling it down. You want to try and get it as shiny as possible. Get control of the cuticle as you're going. And then all you have to do is touch up with an iron for polishing. Part off the next section. So again, in, work my way up. Take about another 2 inches of hair. I'm gonna go on this side. Part that up, and now I'm going to work on the next section. Same thing. I want to make sure it's dry before I place on top, and then I'm going to proceed to the next one and the next one. I'm going to do 2 more sections and finish off the top. Pulling it down, pulling it down. And creating that minimal volume. So I want just working down the shaft, starting at the root. You can change hands on this side, following behind with your nozzle. Okay, so push it in one direction, doing your flat wrap technique. And then you can bring it back in the opposite direction. This side, I can push it back, slow down, follow the brush. Then I can take it forward, smoothing that hair out. And then I can go like this, turn it to the side, and I'm going to pull right down and smooth. I'm going to go into the next section, right down, and smooth. Last section here, and smooth, making sure it's dry before I go to the last section. Take the last section down. Then, starting on one side, smoothing it out. Following the nozzle with the brush all the way down the shaft. And do the same on the other side. So I'm going to turn this way. pull that hair right down, smoothing it out. I'm going to do my flat wrap technique, so I'm going to go around. I want to push this hair all the way around the head, using the head to smooth that hair out. So I can go back, I can go right over, keeping the brush with the blow dryer. Then I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to bring this back down. You can see the cuticle is getting shinier. I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. So I can go in, I can use the head, I'm going to push back with the brush, smoothing that hair out. I can go right up and over. So take your blow dryer up and over with you. Making sure it's completely dry here. And then I can start taking it down. So I want to take it just down the way it's going to be styled. So using my brush underneath, pull it down, take some more hair, pull it down so you get nice and smooth, but you still have minimal volume in there, so you're getting some volume rather than it just drying on its own and being flat to the head. So again, work your way all the way around the head. And then checking it as it comes down. So I'm going to go in, get the cuticle to go down nice and smooth, underneath, pull that hair nice and smooth, and then we're just going to polish it up with an iron. It doesn't matter where you're parting it because we cut it even throughout. Start on underneath and then place on top, so you can go in with your clip. I'm going to just hold this hair out of the way. I'm going to take the next section over here. I'm going to hold that hair out of the way. I'm going to take my thermal tool. So I've got my straightening iron here. I'm going to pick up my section. I want to go in. I don't want to clamp it down hard because I'm going to leave a dent, a line. I want to push this in. I want to feed it through with my comb on the other side. So I'm going to go in here. Again, I'm going to put it in here, feed it through with my comb on the other side so my ends really become nice and smooth. I'm going to take my next section. I'm going to work my way up. So I want to take 1 inch to 2 inches depending on how thick that hair is. I'm going to take that hair. I'm going to go in. Try not to clamp hard. You want to just go down. And again, it's important to not be on this side. We don't want to be on this side feeding it through. We want to pick up our section. And we really want that comb to guide that hair as it's going into the iron so it goes in nice and straight. So right to the very bottom so your ends get nice and smooth. I'm going to try not to have a part down the middle, so I'm going to grab a little on both sides, iron in the center, put my comb in, and feed those ends in. I'm going to take the next section. I'm going to put my iron in, close it gently, feed those ends in. I'm going to work my way up again. Next, and again, it shouldn't take long because you've done most of the work in the blow dry. So we're just letting the heat lock the cuticle down so it gives it a nice smooth surface. Take this section here. Just polishing her off, feeding those ends in. Work my way up. So again, tucking this out of the way. Right to the top. And again, especially this is where they're going to see it, you do not want to clamp tight where you're going to get a line. You want to slow down, get your ends right in, have your comb in front. So my comb is always in front, feeding the hair into the iron. Should be nice and polished all the way down. I'm going to continue and do the sides. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do 3 sections. Watching the ear. Going right down to the bottom. Smoothing the ends, nice and shiny. Going to take my next section. Turn this out of the way. So again, right in, smoothing that hair down and feeding the ends in. And I'm going to take my last section and then I'm going to proceed to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side and then I'll show you the finished result. So exact same thing, I'm just going to make sure it's smooth. I'm going to go in, I'm going to feed the ends in with my comb so that every hair on the ends gets really nice and smooth. Grab that little bit in the front and polish right down. So right down to the very bottom. So I'm just going to flip, do the other side, and I'll show you the end. So now that you finished ironing on both sides, you should see nice and smooth and shiny all the way to the end. And with your haircut, you should have a nice, clean line at the bottom. So you've put in a nice solid line all the way around at the bottom. And there you go. So nice, smooth, one length haircut. And then you finished her off with a nice blow dry and iron.